Australia won the toss, England bat, and we join the play. England 96. Ray Bright bowling to Mike Brearley.
That's made for the shot. Beautifully played again. A wide half volley. And the delight of any batsman in form to receive a delivery such as that. A superb shot by Brearley, 4 glorious runs, brings up a century opening partnership for England. The 100 coming up in 94 minutes. So the odds should be on Amos now, reaching a 50 before Brearley. Both on 49, and he's got the strike. And very anxious to get it. Pushed to mid-off, scampers through for another very good 50. Amos likes this ground. He came back last year, made a brilliant 200 against the pace of Holding and Roberts, and on his return has gone to an excellent 50. Only 1 boundary in that. And Brearley in turn will follow. So Brearley's getting 50 in the identical time, but he in fact has found the boundary 7 times. Chapel moving. David Hook's a good deal squarer now on the offside boundary. And that's short. A bad ball. First really bad delivery from Ray Bright. An absolute gift there. And another short one, and this time fiercely put away by Amos through mid-wicket for 4. That's another good shot. Can't afford to bowl short to these two. And hammered away again through mid-wicket off the back foot for 4 runs. And Amos really enjoying this pitch. Swept away, a bad ball there, pitching very, very wide outside leg stump. And Brearley taking full advantage, making no mistake.
That's 4. No need to chase that one. It's a nick through the slips. And 52 on the board now. And Brearley goes to 77. Good shot. That's beaten Thompson in mid-on. That's a fine stroke. Beautifully timed and with great power from Dennis Amos. Oh, it's a neat stroke. Beautifully guided away there on the leg side. Thompson will only be able to bowl it in. And not a bad bowling either, making Brearley hurry, but still 3 runs there. Well, this could hardly be a better psychological boost for England. They've won the first 2 games of this potential series, and here they are in the first morning, 161 for naught in the 3rd game. And now 161 for 1. O'Keefe, for the final delivery of his 11th over, has taken the first wicket, stumped by Robinson. The man out was Mike Brearley, jumping down the track, missing by a long way, and Robinson having no trouble in making the stumping. So the first success for Australia, 161 on the board for England. The man out, Brearley, stumped Robinson, bowled O'Keefe for 78. Amos is 79. Shot. Very strong around about leg stump. The Australians should know by now that that's not the place to bowl at him. Half volleys on leg stump. No matter what pace you're bowling, Amos still is a marvellous leg side player. Interesting that he hasn't been given a bouncer so far today by any of the bowlers, not even Lenny Pascoe. Walters. Oh, it's got to be overthrows there. And it's Dennis Amos's century. 3 runs there to Amos to bring up the 100. And a very, very fine innings indeed.
Dennis Amos eventually out for 108, dragging on a ball from Pascoe for his 3rd 100 in a Prudential match. Brearley 78, a stand of 161, but the wickets falling as England sought to hurry the pace. Chris Holt only the 3rd player to reach double figures. And a final score, 242 of 54 overs and a bit, for which I should think Greg Chappell in the circumstances might have been well satisfied. So Australia now had the chance to rehabilitate their batting on this splendid pitch. They lost Rick McCosker pretty early on, LBW to Chris Holt for 11, and then in their turn, the Australian turn, a very good partnership developed between the opener today, Richie Robinson, the reserve wicketkeeper, and the captain, Greg Chappell.
Been a very close call there if Barlow had hit the wicket. I think in any case Chappell might just have beaten him in. Short one, hooked away quite nicely between those two. So he needs 3 men out there and cut off that shot. 2 of them not very far apart. Skillfully placed there by Robinson for another boundary. He moves on now to 23, the total of 39. That's a good shot. And Greg Chappell quite confident that'll go through for 4. He's been out there a long time. We've seen that ball hurrying over the outfield. And anything struck with force like that and beating the fielder, certain to go for 4 here. That's a good shot. Firmly struck, straight driven 4. And that's really the man that England have got to get rid of, already running into form. Conditions really made for Greg Chappell here today. He's moved quickly into double figures. He's on 11 now. To save a bit of time, Lever's dropped into mid-off. Amos has come round to extra cover. Wasn't a particularly good shot this time by Chappell, and it's a good stop by Underwood in front of the members' pavilion, cutting off the boundary, and Chappell this time will take 3. So 3 bringing the 50 up for Australia in the 12th over, and they're going pretty well. Robinson's turn this time. Not quite such an elegant shot, but it's going to a mid-wicket for 2. It's cleared this time, all right. Just about to give up the battle. So, a good boundary to Whitechapel.
That must have been desperately close to getting through. It's the one that comes back in the air with the arm, and Chappell was so cramped there that he finally had to take it from about Midland leg. I think probably light rain falling here at the moment. John Lever. It's a good throw. Lovely throwing arm, John Lever. And the shout you heard was Greg Chappell telling Richie Robinson it was going to be his end. The slight rain falling will make it difficult for Underwood and the other spinner Miller to grip the ball. Most unorthodox, effective. Bob Willis, man chasing. Oh, that was a nasty fall. He seems all right.
That's well fielded. Tony Gregg getting the long arm down there. And sun really streaming down here now. Certainly won't take very long to dry the outfield up if it continues like this. To bowl from the pavilion end is Jeff Miller. Very close indeed. Asking there for a stumping decision, Alan Knott, but very nearly bowled him. And difficult to know how he missed that. And that's 4. That's exactly where Miller can't afford to bowl. Anything short on the offside will get the treatment from Greg Chappell. He's only got 3 men guarding that offside, and no problem for a player as good as Chappell to find the gap. Chappell now to face. Turn of Bob Willis coming in from deep square this time. And Chappell able to come back for the second, and the 100 comes up for Australia. So 101 for 1 in the 26th over. Oh, that's a good shot. Fine movement of the feet there. And did pretty well to stop that with the boot. Well, he's not one of the greatest outfield chasers, but managed to get a big left boot to it. Chappell 49 now, Lever the bowler. Delicately away down to a deep long leg. So again the big boot of Willis saving the boundary. But those 2 runs bring in 50 to Greg Chappell, and an exceedingly good one too. Been in command ever since he took guard. Played some really delightful shots all around the wicket. And moves to 52 out of 113 for 1 in the 29th over. It's Tony Gregg from the Vauxhall end. Barlow in chase out there. And Chappell gets a couple more runs. Quickly calling for the run there. And if Rundle had hit it, would have been very close. So 50 there to Richie Robinson. Not the most elegant of players, but it's been a very effective performance, this. That's a big Yahoo to leg his middle at this time. One of the rare opportunities he's had to pick it up off the meat of the bat. In fact, it's cleared the ropes, and that's a very, very big hit. You can see how he swings everything into this.
It's a good shot from Robinson. Chris Old will just be able to cut it off. There's been some good fielding down in that long leg area by Willis and Old today. And it's 150 up now for the Australians, and they need only 243 to win the match. It's in the air but safe, and it's 4 runs. That's a really well-timed stroke from Greg Chappell. Waited on that and hit it away behind square. No chance of Old cutting it off, and Chappell now has gone ahead again to 69. 64 to Robinson. 18 overs to go and 84 runs needed. Chris Old to take over from Tony Greig. Good shot. Very much an improvised shot. Look to run 4. Richie Robinson's going to come back, and they'll do it easily. That's a long, long boundary down there. The Vauxhall end on the leg side for a right-hander. The clouds still building up on the left of the ground, being raced across by the strong wind that's still blowing. And it's Bob Willis. That'll be 4. A little lucky, it came right off the bottom of the bat, right off the oil hole, while the rain was falling here at the Oval. And again miscued and beautifully fielded by Randall. And if it hit the stumps, it must have been out. A lovely piece of fielding, throwing and judgment. And also a little admonishing word to say, where on earth was the fellow who should have been behind the stumps at the bowler's end? It's in the air. Mike Brearley, it's not an easy one, but he's caught it. That's well judged. And Richie Robinson is out for 70. Caught Brearley, bowled Willis. The total 181 for 2, with Greg Chappell on 87. And dare one say it, that Australian's unlucky number on the scoreboard again when there's a small disaster. Robinson, opening the innings today, has made 70. It was a new second wicket record for Prudential Trophy matches. 148 runs added, beating the previous record of 143. That's how the dismissal came. More a wild slog off the front foot rather than a calculated hook. Really did well to get around behind the umpire there to take the catch. Made good ground and caught it nicely at waist height. 181 for 2. Oh, that's an interesting shot from Hughes to get off the mark. Just pick up the 3 runs there out to deep mid-wicket. Well, that's got to be close. Yes, indeed. That's well bowled. The one darting back from outside off stump. So Hughes has gone for 3, 186 for 3. And Doug Walters is the striker, not yet off the mark. He's off it now with a fine shot away past square leg. I don't think Brearley will be too pleased about that. All the balls not to bowl to Doug Walters. At this stage of the innings, that would be it. Derek Underwood now with 12 overs to go and 51 runs needed. Oh, and it must be out, just safe. Good heavens. all the things to happen to a bowler coming on for a new spell, to have Greg Chappell caught in mid-stroke, trying to force the ball away on the onside. It came straight off the outside edge, a little chip up in the air, and it looked certain to be caught. The fields were not able to turn quickly enough on the damp turf on the square. .200 comes up for Australia. The loss of 3 wickets. .93 Greg Chappell, 9 to Walters now.
So Walters, who's made his 12 runs quite briskly, facing Underwood. That's in the air and it's caught. Well, nobody could have deserved a wicket more than Derek Underwood. Walters, a man falling, chasing runs over these last few overs, trying to hurry it along. Couldn't clear Brearley at mid-wicket. And 2 good catches then in this innings by the England captain. See the end of Doug Walters dancing down the pitch, trying to clip it over the top of Brearley there at mid-wicket, and reaching up and taking a good catch. So 211 for 4 in the 49th over, and Greg Chappell on 49. No worries about him not getting 100. The field's pushed back. They're quite happy to give him the single, which will take him through to 3 figures. He's gone for the big one. It's 1 bounce to Amos at mid-on. It brings him 100. And what a good 100 this has been. In fact, the first 100 by an Australian in Prudential Trophy cricket. 154 minutes. Superb performance this by Chappell. He raises his bat. He's there with 100 to his name. 212 the score. 243 wanted. And as long as this man remains, every chance of Australia going through to make it 2-1 in this series. Greg to Chappell. He's found the vacant spot again over deep square leg. No need for anybody to chase that. That'll go through for 4. 4 runs nearer. Victory here for Australia. David Hookes at the far end now. He's made 3 facing John Lever. And over goes the stump. I doubt what he saw very much of it because it's really dark out there, but it's a great sight for a left-arm quick bowler to see that stump flying out of the ground. Well, one can't criticise or condemn young David Hookes. Very black indeed out there as he swings the bat, loses his middle stump to John Lever. He's the 5th Australian out, total now on 225, and he was bowled by Lever for 3. Australia's number 7 batsman, Ray Bright, to receive his first ball. The field coming in to try and prevent the single. Lever the bowler. And did well to see anything at all there. Swung wildly across it. There's a shout from John Lever. But the only result is a leg by. And Bright he might be, but it's certainly not Bright out there. And that's the state of affairs here. A thrilling finish at the Oval as Ray Bright takes guard to face Chris Holt. And a tremendous catch. Almost picked that up in the dark. It's a happy, jovial, smiling Randall who snapped up Bright at cover point. And Ray Bright out without scoring. The score on 228 for 6. As he comes into the pavilion, there's some steady rain falling at the Oval. So high drama. It's very, very dark out there now. So conditions are filthy. It's black, it's murky, it's starting to pour with rain. And Kerry O'Keefe in at number 8, peering into the darkness there and thinking it's Chris Holt who's coming in to bowl to him. There's a big shout for LBW, which has turned down, could be run out. And in fact he is. So a little bit of a circus going on out there at the moment, because I should be very surprised whether Kerry O'Keefe saw anything at all. It's black, it's really hurtling down with rain now. And this game of cricket, which has promised so much all day, is ending in a little bit of a farce here. The rain fairly pelting down. The players, nobody wanting to come off. They want to see it off. Nobody out there wants to come back to tomorrow. But Australia could well throw this game away when they had every possible chance of winning it. Two umpires are going to confer. The sun flashing through the background of all these dark clouds. And if there's any chance at all, I think they're going to stay out there and try and finish it. Well, it's decision time out there for umpires. Palmer on the left and Bird on the right. And I can't think there's much joy in the heart of a batsman coming out, whoever that might be. And it is, in fact, Jeff Thompson coming out. He'll get wet through before he even gets to the middle, because now it's coming down like stair rods. Well, the umpires have asked. They said, we don't mind getting wet, and just look at that rain. Well, the light even getting worse now, because in the dark there's an odd glimmer of sun coming through, which will make it extremely difficult. And have you seen shadows as long as that at the Oval? Chappell, who's made 112 to face in the pouring rain, as Chris Holt comes down to bowl. And it really is something of farce, this game of cricket now. Chaplin might appear to look dry on the screen there, but I promise you he's absolutely wet through. And umpire Harold Bird, he wants to get home tonight, doesn't want to come back tomorrow. And here comes Holt again. And where's that gone? Yes, it's going down to third man, could be four. It's a sliding tackle, conditions made for a sliding tackle out there. But it's 4 runs to Greg Chappell. So it's Chris Holt again to Greg Chappell. Just with a single down there. So 1 ball left in this over for Jeff Thompson to face. So only 10 runs wanted now, as Holt comes into Thompson. Driving rain. It's in the air. Going to drop safe, I think. But 2 useful, valuable runs to Jeff Thompson. Barlow absolutely drenched out there, but enjoying every minute of it. No way now they can come off, of course, having stayed out for 10 minutes in this pouring rain. So after 52 overs, with 3 overs left, 235 for 7. Great Chappell, grim face there. 8 runs needed, 3 overs to go. There's a single. And look at the water dripping there off Mike Brearley's cap. So that's brought Thompson down to the far end. Single there to Thompson, and Australia very nearly home now. So only 6 more wanted. And it's lever to Chappell. Lightning bit of work there, and Barlow chasing in, runs out Jeff Thompson. So some other poor unfortunate batsmen's got to come out and get wet through. So Chappell facing, flicking the rain off his face. And still going to collect a single there. Turn through mid-wicket. So in the 53rd over, 5 wanted as Dimmock takes guard under the rainbow. The rain still belting down and Lever bowls to him. And a good ball to a Yorker, but he's managed to squeeze that away down to third man. And the single takes Australia to within 4 runs of victory. Wanted, 2 wickets to fall. Chappell there still supreme. And decided now he can get them in singles. Takes one there and a good run that. Means he'll keep the strike. And Greg Chappell, who's held this Australian innings together since he came in at number 3. On 120 to face Chris Holt. That's a no ball. Doesn't make any difference as Chappell took a single from it. Single then from Dimmock would level the scores. That's the single that does just that. It's all level now, and nothing could be better than for Greg Chappell to make the winning run here for Australia. He's carried this Australian innings, played wonderfully well for his 121 out of 242. And now has the opportunity of taking a single off Chris Holt and seeing his side richer by £2,000. All then to Chappell. The field closing in now. But he's got it through, no problem at all. That will go all the way through. It's the winning run for Australia. And Greg Chappell getting a couple to make absolutely sure. And full marks to the Australian captain. The one man who's really been in form for the Australians right the way through this tour has finally won this third and last Prudential match for his side with a brilliant innings of 123 not out, with the Australians just scrambling home with an over to spare by a margin of 2 wickets.
It was England, in fact, who won that particular series back in 1977 by 2 matches to 1. Well, the news here at the Oval is that play has been officially abandoned for the day, and the scores are therefore